Hi, it's Jar Marquez Pinading from Section BSBA 1B. For today, I am going to interview 5 persons to identify and discuss some gender issues and on how they can help the people to avoid this issue.
Hi, this is Lisa Gayo, and a friend of mine asked to identify some issues or bias that is happening in genders here in our society. So, as my opinion, I would say sexual harassment is very common gender bias or issues in our society. Why so? That's because when we say about sexual harassment, we automatically think of a guy who did harassing a female. But what about if a female did it? So what I think about here is a bias or discrimination towards the man, which is we are like telling that they are the one who did it, but what if it's not? What if it's female? Not all guys can be the one who should be involved in harassment, but also females. So as a solution, I would say respect, a simple term with a lot of meanings that would elaborate everything. So as we have said, respect is the basis and the foundation for every human, and I would say that respect humanity, not gender. Gender gives life, but humanity gives that life a meaning. So empowerment for both women and men. Thank you.
I think the number one problem in this society is that people tend to judge someone by how they look or how they dress up. And if they see a man wearing a lip tint, they will say that, oh, that's gay, which is not really the best way for you to give your initial judgment to someone, because gender spectrum is wide. And for me, the number one solution for this is an effective advocacy for people to know what is the difference of gender identity and sexual orientation, which really plays a big role in this issue to break the stereotype about this issue.
Girls' self-esteem, ambition, and expectations are the first victim of gender stereotypes or gender biases. Therefore, eradicating cliches and their associated behavior should be a priority for any society and should begin in school. Some initiative advocates introducing female role models into the classroom as a first step. For me, solution lies in education. Example, curricula, textbooks, and teacher training programs should be periodically viewed to ensure that gender stereotypes are not perpetrated and within schools. The role of teachers becomes essential when it comes to providing quality gender-related education and promotes student welfare and respect for professionals.
There's a lot of gender issues coming up today, especially in this generation. And one of these is the job segregation, which is the degrading a person's skill or capabilities to be able to do a particular job or a particular work. So let us all know that every man can do a woman's job and vice versa. As long as you know you can do it, as long as you know you are happy for it, as long as you know you're capable of doing it, you're enjoying it, go for it. Be confident for what you have and what you can do for this particular job of yours. It's your dream, it's your passion. So you have to fight for it. And we need to support and respect every person in this world. And most especially, discipline ourselves.
Abuse is a gendered crime. First, what is the definition of gender-based violence? The United Nations defines it as a definition of discrimination includes gender-based violence that is directed against a woman because she is a woman or that affects women disproportionately. It includes acts that inflict physical, mental, or sexual harm or suffering, threats of such acts, coercion, and other deprivations of liberty. Every case of domestic abuse should be taken seriously and each individual given access to the support they need. All victims should be able to access appropriate support. Whilst both men and women may experience incidents of interpersonal violence and abuse, Women are considerably more likely to experience repeated and severe forms of abuse, including sexual violence. They are also more likely to have experienced sustained physical, psychological, or emotional abuse or violence which results in injury or death. There are important differences between male violence against women and female violence against men, namely the amount, severity, and impact. Women experiences higher rates of repeated victimization and are much more likely to be seriously hurt or killed than the male victims of domestic abuse. Further to that, women are more likely to experience higher levels of fear and more likely to be subjected to coercive and controlling behaviors.